It's January 28th. The time is 6 p.m. and it is our regular meeting. Madam Secretary, can we get a roll call?
Kamal,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Jackson,
Present.
Hiles,
Present.
Rogers is present, Laster,
Present.
Kennard.
Excused.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the January 28th, 2026 meeting agenda as amended to add a motion to approve the settlement agreement with Dana Blair.
Support.
It's been motioned by Laster, supported by Rogers. Any discussion? Roll call?
Laster,
Yes.
Rogers is yes. Kamal,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Hiles. Motion is approved.
Thank you. We're not at public comment.
None.
Seeing none, moving to the presentation portion. And we have a presentation today from the attendance liaisons. Looks like the gang is here.
Click away, baby.
All right. Good evening. Hello. I'm okay.
I don't know if it's on.
I had to do like this.
Yes.
It's okay.
It
we'll
is
be good.
green. Good evening. My name is Shalise Grigsby. I'm one of the attendance liaisons. I represent the 9th and 10th grade at the high school and Hale Creek. We're here this evening to present our Attendance Matters slideshow. We're missing Herb Buckley and Matthew Eldridge. Herb had a death in the family. Matthew had another engagement. But we do have
Barbara Malcolm. I am at the middle school and I serve as 7th and 8th grader and RVLC, middle school RVLC.
Stacy King, I am working with the high school, RVLC, and early college, and I also work with the families of Romulus Elementary.
All right.
So, some of the things that we do on a daily basis in regard to attendance is tracking. We monitor regularly. We get our printouts for our different schools that we're responsible for. We document in MyStar, and we're incorporating EduClimber with our eWIMS that we have a weekly meeting with Scott. That's something that's still in developmental stages. We collaborate with the building administration, special services. Again, I touched on eWIMS already. We have a weekly meeting with our superintendent where we discuss how to better serve our community in this district in regard to getting our students into the buildings. The communication with parents and students, that's a really important part of our job, building the relationships and making sure that they know we're here to support them, not just penalize them. So I feel like we spend a lot of time working on that. That's how we feel like the best approach, not just to penalize. Our attendance letters, so this is the different levels. The 3-day go out after they've missed 3 or more days, then we send out a notification letting them know they have to meet with us, and then we have to discuss, are there extenuating circumstances or things that challenges they need assistance with? Is there support? Are there resources we can offer them? If that is not accomplished at the 3-day meeting, then we have to send them a 6-day notification where they have an informal meeting with the judge at the high school. That takes place, and all of us, our whole team is there, meeting with families and trying to get them support and resources, but the judge is over that session, and he does most of the talking. We're just there as support. Some of the challenges that we are seeing mostly, there's a lot of unhoused in this community. It's a big challenge in trying to unhoused, homeless. They,
That's why you speak openly, like so people know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Unhoused, I mean,
well,
right, just
they call it both.
I
It goes both. Yeah,
Yeah, homeless.
homeless.
Okay.
Our homeless,
Moved to saying unhoused.
they did. It's a little, yeah. It's sensitive, so I try to be on the side of what's current, but
No, I appreciate that. I'm just saying, people need to know.
Yes.
our homeless community, our homeless unhoused community. Our, I can,
Mind.
yeah.
You know, I don't mind having a microphone, not at all.
Um, But working with McKinney-Vento, that's, it's challenges that are presented with that. But we try really hard to assist and be supportive of that, of our community, because it's increasing, unfortunately. So we're
Speak a little bit more, please, on
sensitive
that.
to that.
I didn't say louder, just speak a little bit more about the challenges of McKinney-Vento, because we don't talk about it. There's certain things in communities that they don't talk about. So I'm giving you an opportunity to talk about it. You say it's a challenge. Tell us what the challenge is. What is it
The challenges
to your
are-
daily work?
Yeah, there's not a lot of resources, and they run through quickly because of the increase in need. We want to be supportive, but the funding, the money is not always there, and we can't permanently house people, so that money gets run through quickly. And providing transportation, also, that's another thing, and just clothes, food. What needs are being met? Yes.
With our students who are homeless, if they've been identified as being such, don't we have to provide transportation for them, us? And if they're in a new district, we split the cost of that? And we have to provide to and from school transportation.
As far as I know, yes, that's what we've been doing.
So are we doing that, and that population of students just isn't coming to school? Or are we lacking funding to provide the transportation that we're obligated to provide by law?
That's a good question. I would have to do further research to find out if it's just the funding or, I know that the transportation, they do get to school. They're coming, but if I can't force them, we can't force them to school. So I would have to further look into if it's just the finances.
Real quick, I'm new to the board. What is McKinley-Vento?
That's a good question. That is our wraparound service for support needs, like where they give our resources and for homeless and unhoused. Yep.
The board knows our special services department is who handles McKinney-Vento, not our attendance liaison. So
Yep.
if they don't have your answers, it's because they're not.
I apologize, right. But we work with them. We try to work as closely with them, but they are a separate entity from us, so.
So you know the students, but you don't know the need, like, did you get your gas card, did you? But you know
Absolutely.
the students are identified as McKinney-Vento.
Right, so we try to, that's part of the relationship building, that we try to be involved and try to find out their needs and how we can support them further. And if they need McKinney-Vento, then we definitely offer it to them and as a resource.
So when you say like it's increasing, like what would you say it was last year versus this year, just to where we kind of like know the increase?
Support services would know.
Okay.
And I'm new to the district this year as well, so
But we do know that Romulus is next to Detroit with the biggest population of unhoused students.
absolutely.
So, in foster care, absolutely. So,
So that's what I'm saying. That all would go. So if I was in foster care, does that count as homeless?
yes, if I was living with you,
Right. So
Respectfully.
if you live with your auntie or something, then
you're,
it counts
yes,
you.
you are McKinney-Vento.
Falls under the McKinney-Vento.
So if you don't live with your parents,
Yes.
basically anything that's not with your parents, they will.
And it even breaks down to like students having to apply for themselves. Like you don't have family, and you
Yes.
just out here floating around, and they have ways for them to apply. I'm not trying to. I just
Oh,
kind of
absolutely.
do a
Please.
little bit of the.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Oh yes.
that's homelessness as well. Yeah,
Okay, next one.
yeah, yeah.
Click, please and thank. Okay, so on a daily, what we do daily, as you can see, we monitor attendance, of course, through MyStar. And MyStar, it still has some glitches because that still depends on the teachers putting in attendance. And I'm not gonna put it on teachers. If there's a sub, the subs don't put in the attendance. That has to go down to the office. It may take a minute before it catches up. We document and the attendance. We follow the responsibility markers as we have laid out, as Dr. Edmondson has laid out in our policies for attendance. And we have the sessions with the judge. We investigate, we go through each student. So it's not just, oh, you missed 3 days. We do investigate each student because everybody's circumstance is different. You know, one kid may be out 3 days, parent might not even know. We had a student who was suspended 5 days. He kept a letter in his pocket and was going to the park every day. That was the first year, but that kind of stuff does happen where parents don't know. We do contact the parents and the guardians, and sometimes they really don't have a clue students have been absent.
May I? Or you do? Okay, so I'm gonna jump on that real fast.
Yeah.
And I want the honest truth. I'm not saying, I don't know what it is. But what I care about is transparency and truth. When you call parents, do they say that teachers called them? Have the teachers called them too? So what is your relationship with teachers? Because as a teacher, I know that when you're not there, you're getting a call from Ben Edmondson, you're getting a call. And then you're gonna get a call on day 2. How's that work with you? Or do you run into it where the parent says, well, the teacher called me 3 times already? Or are teachers just doing dojo and the other stuff? Like, I care about, call somebody. Look, I understand email, call somebody. I'm way different when I speak to you than how I come off in emails. I apologize to some people now, let me just say that, but I'm just saying. So I wanna know what's the relationship, or are we not gonna talk about that?
Well, I can say that this is my 3rd year here, and I have talked to countless parents, and I have not once, and this is the God's honest truth, I've never had a parent say, the teacher called me. I've never had that.
And this is at the grade level you work at, or all grade levels?
I deal with 7th and 8th graders, and then RVLC, but the middle school, so is that RM? I don't know, RVLC middle school students. But I've never run into that, not one time, and that's just being fair.
So by you never running into that and you saying this your 3rd year, like, have you ever reached out to the teachers and said, hey, I'm calling all these parents, but I'm the only person they listening from, or do you feel like that might be overstepping your boundary?
No, I don't do that with the teachers because that may be I have a task to do.
Right.
And to be fair, just calling the students that I have identified, that takes up a lot of time. So to be frank, I'm not about to chase the teachers down. You know they haven't been in your class. I know it because I see the attendance.
Right.
And I do apologize to parents that I am the first call. I promise you I've done it more times than I even care to admit. Like, oh, I've never gotten a call. Well, I apologize, but this is that call because your student isn't performing. And we send out the grades when we send on those letters. So when they get the 3-day letter, they get a copy of the grades. When they get that 6-day letter, they get a copy of the grades too. So
Can I ask? Oh.
yes, of what we see. And I can't speak for what teachers are doing. I just know on my end, I've never run into someone telling me a teacher already called.
Do you guys run into a lot of blocked phone numbers or parents not, and do you like track that, or like on the MyStar, the student's profile, is there like touch points where you can say, hey, I called this parent on 1-6, I talked to this parent, the phone number was blocked, like just those pieces of.
So we do. We just, of course, this is a program that we are coming up with. So we just started saying, okay, we were putting things in notes for MyStar, but the thing with putting things in notes is, even for myself, I have to remember, oh, what date, let me go back and look at here, what date did I send that? So now we put things in student engagements and student documents, so that way I could go in there. And also with notes, they can be changed, but you can't change them if they're in engagements and in documents, so.
Was the whole team, the whole attendance liaison team doing that? And is that
Yes.
something that Eve, if she wanted to go look at Ursula Rogers, she can see that you made a
Yes.
student engagement on whatever day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So whenever we talk to, but we just came up with this recently because that was on the next slide. Like weekly, we meet as a team. EWIMS. Yeah, you can go to the next slide. We have the EWIMS.
So this is what we're talking about. As far as our documentation, when we're documenting, where you see notes, we're putting a note in there, and that can be seen by the principal, secretaries, and if you
Teachers.
guys go in.
Anybody.
And the pink is the highlighted of the date that we put the information in, sorry. And then on the second one, just to kind of help you to see what we see when we are contacting the parents. And even the first one is just for the parent meeting. We reached out to the parent because we have the unreported absences. And then if the absences continue, we do go and talk with the principal, the secretaries, talk with the teachers. And there are times when after all of that, again, we have to have them come to that session with the judge. So those two are just highlighting when those things would happen and where we would note it. And then as you can see from the top attendance documentation, there is a drop down under your favorites or however it's set up on your computer. But you can look under the student engagements and you will see just a brief overview of that conversation. And then in the documents, the letters that we send out for the 3-day to 6-day, it's also going to be in the documents so that you would be able to see when they were to, when the parent meeting, the letter went out for the parent meeting, and then the date that they have been invited to come in for the session with the judge.
So I was looking for the during the investigation and intervention. What is the number one reason that people say they're absent? Is it transportation?
I can't say a number one. Yeah, it's not what. Yeah, everybody has a different reason.
So how do you categorize that? Like, okay, if it's 5 of us and we all 5, if 4 of us say something different, like how are we categorizing that to say like to determine the reason? It say determine reason for absence. So how are we determining? So if you just say if I say, well, I didn't want to come, and then Portia say I couldn't make it to school, and then he say, well, I didn't want to come either. Like, what's the categories?
Yeah, I don't know about.
So we don't group it all together.
No, we don't.
No.
We deal with each individual family, because everybody has a different circumstance.
Right, everybody have a different circumstance, but when it boils down to it, it's all falling back on why our kids not coming to school, and I feel like we should be able to try to pinpoint that because, okay, everybody got a different circumstance, but what if 50% of the people's circumstances technically the same? It might be worded different, but it could be technically the same. So if we can identify that and try to help with that circumstance, right? Because circumstance is just how you heard what they said to you. The core of it, no, this is what I'm saying. A circumstance is just how the person receives whatever you said, right? You can say it's too cold. You can say it's the weather. That's the same circumstance, technically. But you said it was too cold. You said it was the weather. To her, the weather could mean it's too hot. So what I'm saying is if we can identify what the main circumstance is, right? This just might take a little digging, but if we can identify that and try to combat the main circumstance, maybe we can get these people to school more often. Because at the end of the day, if people don't come to school, none of us exist up here. So if we trying to figure out why people not coming to school, we kind of should categorize that so we can know this is how we help with this, right? Because, okay, say it is transportation, but say you are homeless, but you getting a gas card for transportation. You can't use that and say you don't have transportation. They will. I know they will, but that's just the easiest way to break it down.
Right. Right.
Unfortunate, but this is a nationwide epidemic. It's not isolated to Romulus. It's not isolated to Michigan. It is nationwide. It's just if I'm speaking frankly, it's attributed a lot to the pandemic. There was a decline, and it just has yet to come back up. And people like us, our teams are combating this everywhere. So if we were just like, yeah, I would love to, it's this, it's that, but everybody has their own different reasons. That's why we deal with them on an individual basis, trying to support them, to encourage them to come to school. So
Okay, maybe I can answer it like this too. So if transportation is the issue, because that is one of the categories.
Right.
Transportation. Okay. So are you in your home school? Is this the district you're supposed to be in?
Right.
Is this the school you're supposed to go to? Because we have school buses. So if you are driving your student, well, we could put you in a school where you could get to your.
To your See, that's what I was asking. So, for instance, like if you live in my neighborhood, why are you going around Hill? We could just put you right at Hill Creek.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Corey. Oh, yeah.
So you can give them all the tools. We can give them all the tools. I work in a school district. You can give them all the tools and give you the gas card. I can have the cab come pick you up. And they are outside honking the horn, and mom overslept.
Absolutely.
You know, so they can
Mama
say it's
not
tra-
home,
right,
kids at
mom
home by
not home.
themselves.
I've had it where the babies are getting out, getting in the cab themselves to go to school because mom's not there. So the dynamics, that's why they say each one is really, really different because we can say, we can put a cab out there, we're going to give you a gas card, but what else goes on with, you're right, what else goes on with it?
And the accuracy of what they're telling you, because I live in this district. So you calling to say it's an excuse absent because your kid has the flu, you're in Disney World. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not really getting accurate. I'm not saying all, but working with attendance, you see a lot, and then you see also the play on the system to get the gas cards. So it's then there's people that really do need help because it's not an infinite amount of gas cards. We have the hop, skip, drive. I don't know if the district uses that, but we had to stop that. That's over $25,000 to get kids to school, like a Uber kind of a Lyft program like that. But people abuse the system. Obviously, money is running out, grants and things, so it's tough.
And Mr. Jackson, let me say, so you said this is your first year on the school board. The numbers have declined since we've started. So we do get at them. But you still see the same things over and over again. It's just different students. Yeah, it's different students. Now we got them coming to school. It's the next ones. Yes.
I guess that was my question is, how many, what year are we in for the attendance liaisons?
This is year 3.
Year 3. And then what have the absenteeism rates been in year 1, 2, and 3?
They have declined greatly. We actually took that slide out because we were going to be presenting on a different day and there was a lot of people here. So we tried to shorten it, but we have, I guess we were going to save that for the end of the year, but we have declined. You could see the decline in absenteeism, but it is still here. You know,
It's appreciated too. I noticed that you said that you investigate each student because needs vary. So thank you for that. And for the attitude to support, not just penalize. What other than the McKinney-Vento needs that we've discussed that are unique to homelessness, what other needs are we finding that are barriers to students coming to school, and what supports are we providing?
And sometimes needing a 504 plan. And so I pair them with a social worker or a counselor so that we can look into getting them the services that they need, because some of their anxiety is so crippling they can't come to school. It's significant. Some of it is a play. Some of it is a play and a grab, like we were talking about before. But I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've had students where I can't come to school because they're so anxious. And I just attribute that back to the pandemic. Like I said, them being isolated and having that time away and at a very vulnerable age, like a lot of them, you know.
Yeah, and as we connect families to resources, Dr. Edmondson, and I don't know what's involved, so I'm just asking, would it potentially be an option to have a list of resources and have a page, a link on our website, so that as our attendance liaisons are gathering resources, and teachers may gather resources on their own for different reasons, but have a collective spot where families can go, because a lot of times families won't even ask, you know, but they might if we had a list of organizations or resources and a link to our page maybe.
Yes, there is one.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
A lot of times,
I know.
to be honest,
I know.
it's not helpful for the families, and I hate to say that, because working with it, you can give them a list, go here, go there. There's really nothing when they get there. It's really those relationships in the school. It's the teachers buying food. It's the teachers buying socks. It's the teachers giving gift cards and the support staff, because there's really nothing out here. There is stuff out here, but you have a homeless family. You see a kid living in a
Limited
car.
services.
What can you really do for them?
Right. And you know, even when we meet with the judge,
Thank you.
there are still resources that is extended to the families, even in the courtroom. He's there extending resources that the courts have that we have no access to. So he's always making sure that families understand that there are resources out there. We do have families where the older ones may be taking care of the younger ones. And so in understanding that, connecting that student again with the counselor, with the social worker, the teachers, the principals, everyone, so that we're all working together for that wraparound service, because there's going to be absences that will occur. And what do we do? You know, do we penalize or do we continue to work? And that working together and the student understanding that we're here to help, they have all of the different resources in which they can turn to. It makes a difference. But those are things that we also face.
The challenge too is we have a lot of there are many single parents, and so it's a trickle down effect. If that first one doesn't make it to school on time, now nobody's going to school that day. Or if it's a half days are hard because parents don't send their kids on half days because it's tough. I get it. So we just try to work with them and make sure the kids come and check in with us. The kids do come check in with us. Well, I know they do in middle school. They come check in every day, which I appreciate. So we do build relationships. Very often we build relationships with the students and with the parents. So, but those are the ones that are coming to school now. Now you got the new set that's not coming to school, so you got to start all over.
Right.
Yes.
I need to get your perspective and your perspective, Robert, because it's all the same. Just
And I think, and I'm not trying to step into the lane of administration, but I think teachers need to do touch points, because even if it is just a positive call, getting that you calling, Dr. Edmondson calling, everybody calling, you going to end up blocking or falling in line with the program. Yeah. Yeah, no, those actually be Facebook statuses. He called too much, Sorry.
appreciate it.
But yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm just, you smooth it out. We put those fires out. Of course,
Yes.
we're going to make us all look good. Because if you don't look good, we don't look good. That's how it is. So, I agree. Yeah, continue putting those fires out and continue encouraging students. I mean, we do other things. We have those blank us cards. So, at the end of the year, if I see that improved attendance, I'm folding up right. Yeah, give you a good little note, put a little $5 gift card to McDonald's. once you make contact and they know you're looking for them,
Yeah.
then they're coming to school. So, yeah, they are looking for us. So I know what you're saying, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but I'm gonna say the relationships that you build
Absolutely.
is what makes the
Absolutely.
kids
When
come to
there's a
school.
standard.
Yeah.
Miss Barb is looking for me. She's gonna be calling, like, there's a thing, so, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Just a small, short time I've been here, the ones that I make sure I check in with, that I know they were having issue, and I make sure that I go see them, or, now they can look for me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that
Yeah.
lets me know I'm doing something right, because I was a stranger, I'm the popo. I'm the,
Yeah.
she's the police. But, when they're coming
Yeah.
to look for me and they're entrusting and talking to me,
And even with our parents, sorry about that, even with our parents who, I've talked to parents for 3 years, and I had a parent that I had to call, and she said, I was expecting your call because I realized that my students, they met that threshold of 3, and we talked about it, a reminder, the conversation was very cordial. So we do have parents that do look forward to our phone calls because of the resources that we have provided them and that relationship that we have. So, and it's a wonderful feeling, that, I'm in a couple of, contacts because they know, hey, she will call, just to check in, right? Just to check in, so.
Yeah.
Those conversations are not as rosy.
Of
Not
course,
all
of
the time.
course.
Not all the time. There's
course.
only a few.
and you get those
Yes.
you get those parents who want to challenge you.
That's
and
right.
Who are absolutely like, how dare you call me about my child's attendance? But you have to meet them.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the teachers too, because you're not coming, you miss 5 to 8 days. Retention list should be right here, because how are we learning? Even getting picked up early, being dropped off, like, you're missing all of this instruction. So those are the conversations that lead towards retention. That's why I'm saying those touch points and just a comprehensive everybody working together, because how are you going to the next grade level and you're not coming to school?
How can you go, and I say that to them, like, when you get to that high school, they expect you to know this.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, you don't go to high school. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yep.
So sometimes that lights a fire, but then I've seen some students that I saw last year, so
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many families utilize the parent portal, but in there, as a parent, I can go in there, and the teachers have been great about recording absences and tardies. So I can go in there on a day-to-day basis and see, and I won't get a call about a tardy, but I'll see it in there. And when he gets home, I'm like, why were you late to such and such a class? And but then there's other times where I'll get a phone call, I get your robocall that he's absent, and the first thing I do is pick up, it's your voice.
Oh, yeah.
It's your voice at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
No.
But I'll look on my phone right as soon as I get that. As soon as I get that, though, the first thing I do is I check his location, and I'll be like, okay, he's in there. There was something with, but because we're up that, and then I'm calling my husband at work, But that's for real. That boy's not hiding. But I don't know how many parents are utilizing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I say that to say the high school teachers, at least from my experience, have been really good about using that tool to record absences and tardies. So if I want to know, I can before you call me.
Yeah, because there's,
Because I get tired of his calls.
I didn't know. Listen, maybe I need to redo that. That had to be from years ago. I don't even remember
your
doing
child
that.
has missed all or part of the, like, no, seriously.
Child was deep
Hey, listen, I'm
absent.
serious about that stuff. I'm serious about that.
I've got
I
some
just
of my
had, I
voicemail
think
if
it
you
was
wanna
my
hear 'em.
2-year Facebook memory, but when Mr. White was here and they were doing the sweeps and stuff, I think it was like 6:58 and I fell down the stairs. I still have the boot. Well, I don't have it on the wall anymore, but my boot went pew, like it was a bad fall. And what got me up, it was Jesus and Mr. White's. Like, I was like, oh, you got to get to school. So somehow I got healed to get my son to school, like, on time, because I'm like, I don't want to call that, because tardies equal absences. And also yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Well, they do, because like I said, my son can be in school, and I'll end up getting that robocall, and I know he went to school, and I can see he's there. But if he didn't show up to a class, a teacher will put him absent, and that triggers me to get a call.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so
Well, we definitely tried to be David Ruffin up here, so we apologize. We'll let you guys take it back over.
okay, I'll step off the way. Here you go. You did your slide?
Yeah. Oh, right here.
Oh, oh, what we do weekly, we have the team meetings with our team. We have a meeting, we have the EWIMs, and we meet weekly with Dr. E, just to make sure we have everything on target. We have the bi-weekly meetings with Judge Oakley, where we send parents and students, especially high school and middle school, so we could get a grasp on it. And Judge Oakley will, he'll get at the students, like, it's not the parent, it's you, so
Right.
that is very helpful, yes.
You hold them
And
accountable.
We didn't put it up here, but monthly we go to court. So we do have that, whatever the court docket says, whatever day that says we gotta be there, is the day we do court as well.
And speaking for the judge, because I was at the last meeting or two meetings ago, but he said he's only fined 2 parents as long as he's been working with us. He was like, as long as they try.
That's right.
But something that we don't talk about, I mean, some of the things, we don't talk a lot about McKinney-Vento. We don't talk about a free and reduced lunch population. We don't talk about absences, but all of that trickles down into the schools, okay? And it impacts your culture and climate. Every one of, adversely, it does. You know, students not learning, you know, as a teacher, I'd be so upset when a kid doesn't come to my class. But also I want to say this, and I'm not letting anybody off the hook, because I don't. I'm not. It does matter when you get a phone call from a teacher that says, hey, man, where are you?
Yep.
I mean, if you called me, it matters. Like, oh, man, somebody cares. Like, I didn't even know that you knew who I was in class. So, like, I feel like that's important. Teaching is about relationships, too. It's about expectations, but it's really about relationships. You don't build them, and I'm not dogging any teacher. But I bet you there's probably a correlation, too, between
Because they feel like the teacher's
how,
called, I don't
yeah,
care.
there is. Like, certain people, they don't get late kids. Kids not late to their class because they know. And then there's others where the teacher's not so invested. And it's like, oh, we can miss, we can be late, we can skip, we don't even have to be there. So, I mean, it's a arduous task. I appreciate, because I get to meet with you, and I haven't hit every Thursday, but I know the work that you do, and I see that see your passion, and that matters. And we still have more to do, I would say, more to do. We need to get in front of teachers, I think. I really think we need to get in front of teachers, and for the board to know, and I don't know where you are with your sessions, but I am their direct report. So any problems with them is me, not a principal, not a teacher, it's me. So I do meet with them, and we do talk about this stuff, and you're trying. And this is it's grant funded, and I'm like, this is a high priority for me. So when we look the right size and we look the down size, and not this, because this is a huge issue.
So is it some type of way that, like, we can get teachers on a calendar, even if it's just once a month? This never gonna work if the teacher's not involved. That's the end all be all. Because if it make it all the way to these fine ladies, then the teachers didn't do what they were supposed to do. Not, I'm saying, as far as you know, I'm
I
saying
won't say
we
all
only
that,
talking about this though, right? Because if somebody been gone 3 days, and then these the first people they hear from, especially if they got the number, the robo number blocked, right? No, really, because people do that. So if they got the robo number blocked, and then they calling, and on top of that, like, if I was a parent and I was in this situation, like, I would want to know as quick as possible, as soon as possible, every day. If my son or daughter not coming to school every day, I need to know that before they call. Because what if it's because I work days and I'm available to work midnights, right? Okay, I'm gonna have to switch, because the last thing you gonna do is be sitting up in here because you think I'm going to work. So, I mean, I just want to know, like, we just need to get the teachers involved somehow, some way. And it is, to me, it's not them doing anything out of the ordinary. Like, you see these kids every day, don't you? If I don't see somebody for 3 days, I kind of want to know, are you okay?
But I don't want to, for me, and I'm not making excuses, I'm not also indicting teachers like they're not doing. Some do. Listen, if you were to ask me, I'd say, depends on the teacher. Some got it going on and others don't. It's just how it is. It is. Some are really good at it, and if you were to ask them, or if I sat down with them, I'd say, tell me who's, and I'm not talking about tardies, but you'd have an idea. I mean, and you deal with some of the same parents, and you deal with some of the same foolishness, and it is what it is. Appreciate it. Is there another slide or is this it?
So
Okay,
go to the
yeah,
next
yeah,
one.
yeah, okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
so we just, as a collaborative, we said success is earned one day at a time. It starts with showing up, which is what we've talked about. And we want to thank you for trusting in the process, because our team is committed to serving Romulus Community Schools.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell Matt I'm going to get him. Right, but his response was he was prepared on Monday. They were all prepared Monday, so,
We let 'em
right.
slide. They had
And he's an alumnus. Matt is an alumnus here. Young guy.
Consent agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the January 28th, 26 consent agenda as presented. Matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine in nature by the Board of Education and will be acted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items. If any member of the board or any citizen requests discussion on an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will become the first item of business under the report of the superintendent portion. A, approval of the minutes for the Board of Education, January 12th, 2026, regular board meeting, January 12th, 2026, closed session meeting, January 20th, 2026, special board meeting.
It's been motion by Rogers, supported by Powell. Any discussion? Roll call.
Rogers is yes. Piles,
Yes.
Kamal,
Yes.
Laster,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
and Davis.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We are now at the report of the superintendent, Dr. Edmondson, with the brief district update.
There will be a district update. I don't know if it's brief because there are things that you need to know because I always want to make sure that you have the information. Now, if you want it to be brief and you don't get the information, then I can agree to that too, but I would prefer that I give you the information. I try to keep it brief. Well, I appreciate that. I just want to start with a number of things. As you can see, I have a list here, so I'm ready. Okay. But just in terms of some of the marketing things that we're doing here, the newsletter will be out. Quite the cost. It is quite a cost, but we're going to bear it. We expected to do this as part of our community involvement and engagement, is that you pay for this. And this is what it looks like. It's almost ready to go out. I have to make some changes because there's an event that we were going to have that is now canceled, and I don't want that to go out. So I have to change that. But it's the Eagle Eye. I think you've seen it. Very proud of this. So that's coming up. You've already seen that. Flight and Friends is coming soon, and Flight and Friends it's a coloring book. Flight, you know who Flight is, right? And it's a coloring book, and it mentions all of our schools, but we're going back and changing it because we didn't put RVLC in there. It's a coloring book for kids with every school involved, so that'll be coming out as well. You could do that if you'd like to. We have some CTE videos that are coming out. I just reviewed them under the leadership of Dr. Molnar and her team. They like them, but there's some edits that have to be made. But it's on our CTE program. It's videos by students. It's 1 minute and about 8 seconds with students being the ones talking about the program. So those will be coming out likely in February, if I had to guess. It'll be ready in February. In terms of me, I've done a number of news interviews for whether it was the event that happened January 6th here, or I'm getting calls that, hey, could you tell us how you make a decision with the snow and things like that. I'll be glad to do those kind of things. Anything I can do to put our district in a good light, I'm going to do. So did an interview with CBS News, and that's online. That came out too. But a number of them call me because they know I'm not afraid to say what I need to say, and I'm going to. No need to lie. I'm just to tell the truth. It's easier to. I had a comment, but I say that at work at the lunch table, so I won't say it here. Podcasts. Again, thank you to Adam Dennison there working on a podcast. We did one yesterday. This morning, it was, I don't know how many likes, 6, 8, 9, I don't know. But it was like 46 views. But I want you to take a look at those podcasts if you can. Yesterday was the REA, that's the union president, Sarah Carter, and the secretary, Mike Hansen. So if you get a chance, just look at some of the things that we do with marketing. I want to talk a little bit about snow days. We have 5 on record now, 5 closures, okay? You get 6. After 6, you have to go to the state and you have to ask for a waiver. They give you 3 more days. Generally speaking, I expect the state superintendent, who I do know, to say, oh, okay, that's fine. After 9, it looks a little different, okay? And what we would likely do is be adding time to the calendar. If you ever want to know how I make that decision, I'll be glad to talk to you how that's done. It's really done Wayne County Superintendents Talk, and I particularly have a conversation with Huron and Belleville. They get worried because I have no problem closing, because even our populations are a little bit different in how we serve our population. So I make no excuses for the decisions that I make there. 6 closures at the high school. So there's 5 for the district, but 6 at the high school because they had a building problem in December. So they're creeping up on it too. So just understand that that goes on. A couple of things that you may not know. The decision, so there's a couple of things. When we close because of road conditions, people in this building, I tell them to stay home. They're not working from home, just stay home, because it's a danger to drive. Now, if it's inclement weather that's cold, everybody here reports, because you're going from your house to here and it doesn't have anything to do with conditions. So I want you to know that too. I want you to know that when it's inclement weather, in terms of driving, we're not feeding families there because it's too difficult for anybody to get here. But if it's inclement weather, you best believe I'm going to open up the buildings and make sure that our parents get fed. Okay, I think the last one may have been 200. I don't know if it's lunches. It wouldn't be, maybe it's not families, but it'd probably be lunches. But we prepare for 400, okay, but we don't get that. We generally don't. But again, it kind of correlates with what some of the things that we just heard in terms of snow days. Last thing that you may not know, made the decision last year that we have plenty of people that are paid hourly. You close the school, guess what? They don't get paid. They still have bills to do, they still have bills. So I make sure that they get paid. So I want you to know that. So bus drivers, not custodians, who else? Attendance liaisons, edu staff, security, like they get paid. And I want them to feel good that, hey, I don't have to worry about not getting paid. That's important to me. That's something that I need you to know as a board, that we have done that. That's what we do. Strategic plan, I want to support Ms. Kamal, that we have to, the strategic plan is ending. We need to start thinking about if 1 or 2 of you can grab somebody to get them involved in the district. You don't have to be a parent here. You don't have to have a child here. Just want to have to make a difference in a school district. We'll welcome you. Might want to have a conversation with Trustee Kamal, but I'll be working with her on getting that work, moving on that work. I just got back from MESA conference. That's the Michigan Association of School Administrators. So it's all the superintendents, and that was in Kalamazoo. The day of my return, my battery decides I'm not going to cooperate with you today. So hit me hard financially, but it was okay. I mean, I'd say it was okay. I like innovation and creativity, and a lot of the organizations, they do the same thing every year. And so I went. It was nice to see some colleagues. I presented with Wayne Risa, me and other districts that are, we presented on the Wayne County Literacy Promise. That went very well, and you all probably didn't even know, you may not even know what that was, but I got up and I spoke on how it works here and how we operate here. There are some surveys that I put out. I put 4 school surveys. Now, the law makes you, I believe the law says that when there's a student survey, you have to post it. I think, or that's either coming or it's now. I can't remember, one or the other. But this wasn't a student survey. This is a staff survey about the culture and climate in the buildings with new leaders. So I have that information. I'm looking at it. I'm going to put it into a program that's going to spit out what the themes are. And I'm going to meet first with the leadership at those buildings, and then I'm going to meet with the staff because everybody needs to hear what people are seeing. So that's coming up. Dodgeball Showdown, I'm going to challenge the board, each one of you, to bring 3 people with you. Okay, how does it work? It's really, if they can give a $25 donation, that would be great. And then they can play 5 rounds. It's going to be great, I promise you. But I'd like to see you there. Even if you don't play, you don't have to play. Bring 3 people, at least 3 people. I'm sending out an email tomorrow that's going out to the same donors that support our golf outing. But I'm telling you, you don't have to hit us up like the golf. I'll get you in. I'll get you in August. But this one should be a little bit different. But if they can help, that would be great. So if anybody knows somebody that wants to sponsor, just give a donation to the school. I promise you, we'll do the right thing with anybody's money. It's going to the class of 2028. They did it last year, so I'm just letting them ride it for the 4 years and take the money and do whatever they want to do with it, so to speak. Last year, we made roughly $9,000 total, and that was food, merchandise, and entrance fees or donations. So I'm hoping to exceed that. Something you need to prepare for, because it's coming. We're going to right-size this district. So what does that mean? That means I'm looking at every building. I'm looking to see how many teachers they have versus how many kids they have. If you have too many staff that don't align with how many students you have, we're going to right-size you. It's going to happen. We're overstaffed at this district, not by a ton, but enough. And we're going into negotiation years. This is a negotiation year for 3 of our bargaining units. I'm going to be working with Dr. Shammy and Mr. Brock. Mr. Brock will be our lead HR person, lead negotiator on our side. I don't want to say side, it's not a side, but just for the district, for the board and for the district. So that's going to be, our first meeting is February 26th, but I'm going to right-size this district, and that doesn't mean I'm cutting anything now. It's starting in 2026 of July, things have to look right. So I'm going to do that. It can be a very emotional experience for everybody, because you talk about people that, hey, we're overstaffed and what we have to do about it. Now, sometimes you have attrition, so I need you to understand. People retire, people quit. Now, it doesn't look quite the same, but I'm just preparing the board for what I'm going to do. You pay me to make decisions. I have no problem making decisions, even the ones that I lose sleep over. But it's just leadership. I think you all have this. I just want you, when you get a chance, again, if maybe Eve can pull this again, 8 traits of an effective school board. You don't have that? Okay, well, I'll make sure that you all get this, just so that we can always, iron sharpens iron. We need to know that we're effective. And if we're not effective and we see something here that we need to work on, then maybe that's part of the strategic plan too. I'll push it that way. Thank you. Coming up, cell phone bans. I hope you know about it across the state. Now, I feel like that's going to be a big headache for me. I think it's going to be it's worse than now. Because now you're going to have parents say, you can't do that. Oh, yeah, I can. But then there's some allowances that, you can, there's things that you can do, but if the teacher allows them to do this for a project, and then now I got to figure out, did you take the phone? But it's coming. And I'm going to need your support because it's the biggest distraction. I mean, there's a big lawsuit by a young kid who's suing the state, I believe, suing maybe the state of California that I just saw over the addictiveness. He said that his education was ruined because he was addicted to the cell phone. Might have a point. So that's coming. I just need you to know that that's coming across the state, cell phone ban. Not going to talk a lot about it, but I have here staffing, coaching, and gossip. Let me put all those together. Staffing, coaching, and gossip. I stay off of social media. You know, people don't like to say nice things. People want to beat each other up, beat your district up. You know, when we just heard what we heard, I'm like, nobody talks about that. You want to beat up the district, but you don't want to talk about what we just talked about. Okay, couple of conversations I had here. Like, we have 2 separate charter schools in one district. It's almost unheard of unless you're a big city. That's almost unheard of. So we're all kind of competing for the same students. That's what really is going on. Yeah, I'd like to be on top. I would like to be on top. But then if your sports teams aren't good, then you have that problem. Or if your test scores aren't, then you have this problem. You have too many people of color, then you got that problem. So it's just a lot. It just is what it is. And that's what it is today. My goal is to make sure that we maintain our level, and eventually I hope that some people want to come back. That's important, that they want to come back. I'm not interested in people from all over. It's the people that live here that have chosen to go elsewhere. I'd love for them to come back. Hard sell, though. Hard sell once people leave for them to come back. So I'm just saying, these are things that I think about. Gossip, stay off of Facebook. But if it's clear, if something was on Facebook, I heard about it, I talked to the person I need to talk to, and I found out that not necessarily true, but I can say I received a resignation today of the football coach, who was also the track and field coach. Okay, so now we have to reset. So that's just part of this business, but we got to be mindful of who you bring in. I need people who are going to love Romulus, who are going to eat, sleep, breathe Romulus. That's important to me. They need to be visible, and not just visible, present. Because I said you can be visible and not present. What does your presence mean? Last two. Black History Month. It's coming up. And I'm going to ask the board, what would you want to see if I challenge, what would you want to see if I said that 80% of your kids are of color? And we have Black History Month. What do you expect? What do you expect from me? What do you expect from teachers? Anything? Or does it not matter? I don't know if that's necessarily rhetorical, but I need you to ask yourself that. It's amazing how many people don't know anything about Black history. Let's start with Black people first. No. I'm committed. I'm going to continue to drill down and ask kids questions and staff about the importance of Black History Month. And it's not just the importance of the month. It should be done every day. They should be reading books. They should have teachers identify books that are written with Black themes and with Black people. But nobody want to talk about that. So let's talk about it. So I want you to think about that as a board. You can do it individually and send me a text. You can send me an email, or you don't say anything at all. But what would you want? What would you want to see? Knowing that 80% of the kids look like me. I'll just say that look like me. And it's not just those kids. It's just in general. I think it's in general. It's not, we shouldn't isolate it. We should not isolate it, but we should be asking questions. We should be challenging people. I want to know, do kids leave our district and never read a book by someone that looks like them? And I will say this, I didn't. Went all through K through 12, not one. I had to do it myself and with my parents. So I never want kids to have that experience. So just going to throw that out to you. Also, lastly, I'm going to a concert tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. Johnny Gill, it's one of my favorites, but I'm going. And I'm excited about that. And I'm very thankful for the, honestly, just the lifestyle that you have afforded me. I mean, I think that I work really hard. I think I try to represent this district in anything that I do positively. And I just thank you for giving me the opportunity to continue to serve, and and you take care of me. So thank you so much. That's it for that. If there are any questions, I saw Trustee Jackson was ready to get me on Black History. I don't know, so no, I'm kidding.
What I would like to see is that we dig deeper, not just the surface level people, because I'm still learning. I just found out yesterday that NVIDIA named their most powerful AI tool after a Black doctor who is actually the force behind AI. And I just found this out yesterday, and then I did my own research, and it's true. And we have a STEM program. That's something they should know. Like, NVIDIA is arguably the biggest company ever to be in the world, and their main chip is named after a Black doctor who was the forefront of AI before people ever knew what AI was going to be. Last name Davis, by the way, so I believe so. But that's like, we need to dig deeper. Like, if I seen you send a challenge out, I don't want to know about the regulars, and then what we think we know about the regulars not even true anyway. So you're not even digging deep. We need to dig deeper, and we can challenge these minds to do that. It's not it's people who want to know and people who should know, but that's just something I would say. Like, we have to challenge them to dig deeper.
I appreciate that, and I don't want to take too long, but yes, there are people that want to know, and there are people that don't want to know, and there are people that are older, and they're kids. It's not like I haven't been a teacher before. Sometimes you wait, and by the time they get to the 8th and 9th grade, they don't care anymore. Got to get them early where you can get them passionate about what they're doing, because a lot of kids are jaded, and a lot of parents don't care either, or they don't have the time to do it. So appreciate it. Point taken. Next. One of my favorite things, this Board Appreciation Month. Oh, it's so exciting. We have, 2 more days? Why, it's not funny. I mean, listen, I love you, man. So I wanted to start with, three. But I'm not going to see you on Saturday. I don't know. We got 2 days. So I wanted to start. In front of you is, I believe, a proclamation by the governor. I feel obligated to read it, so I will read it, and I will try to be brief for you on that one.
You don't have to be brief on that.
Oh, not on that one? No, you want to? Okay. On behalf of the people of Michigan, I, Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of Michigan, do hereby proclaim January 2026 as School Board Recognition Month, whereas Michigan is home to nearly 600 locally elected local school boards that work to enrich the lives of Michigan students through education and directly influencing instruction in Michigan public schools. And whereas local school board members are exceptional public servants who have dedicated and committed themselves to this duty by governing school districts, listening to parent voices, and advancing student achievement and well-being in the schools and communities they serve. And whereas during this month, we join the Michigan Association of School Boards, Michigan Department of Education, local school districts, and community organizations to recognize and raise awareness of the countless efforts and contributions of local school boards and school board members throughout Michigan. And now, therefore, I, Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of Michigan, do hereby proclaim January 2026 as School Board Recognition Month in Michigan. So you have that. I believe we also have, where is it? I don't have any of that in front of me. Okay. So a certificate of appreciation, as you can see, that comes straight from MASB. Don't need to read it, right? I don't need to read that, though. So I also have something for each of you because, listen, I take the time, if there's something here, listen, I take the time to make sure that best I can, let's see, who is this? Best I can just appreciate you, just in general. And I don't want to say this, but I'm going to be direct. I don't like cheap stuff. So I'm never going to get you anything that I think isn't quality because that's important to me. I thank you for your sacrifices of your time. Jeff, you ought to get one too. Thank you. Let's come over. So and last, this one is. No, I'm sorry, no. There's one more. I thought you had already gotten yours. So I also have one for Eve, too, because I feel that Eve has done a great job, too. Eve Camilleri has done a good job, and without the board, we have the board, but you also have to have an administrative assistant who works well with you. So, thank you. To all of you, I want to thank you. There's a card. Each of you has a different card of taking the time to make sure that I write just what you've done, and I appreciate you. There is a gift certificate in there. You can certainly go yourself, but I figured might be an opportunity for us to go, one or two of you, or three if we need to. I'll take you, it doesn't say where. Okay, you'll have to figure out where that is, but one of my favorite restaurants is a Vietnamese restaurant, and I took a couple of gentlemen there today. We went to a Vietnamese restaurant. It's outstanding, but I'd love for you to go. You can use the gift certificate however you'd like to use it. But if we decide to go and you've already used it, you're on the hook.
Oh, because I was going to say, you can just pay for everybody and then we
Right
just,
now,
if we like it.
I said you're on the
go.
hook. You're on the hook. But again, thank you so much for everything that you do, the sacrifice, being here all the time, taking my emails, taking my phone calls, the texts, all of that. Listen, we're moving a district in a positive direction. Hopefully we can continue that. So, thank you. That's for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Emerson. We truly appreciate you. You're just spending the night. All right, you done with your report?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay. We are now at the report of board subcommittees. Hearing none. All right, moving on to the report of the board president. I want to thank the attendance liaisons. I know it was a little, I won't even say lengthy. I think it was needed to have a good conversation and dialogue. I hope people are tuning in and really taking heed, and maybe somebody will tell a friend to get their students to school. And just to really understand that McKinney-Vento, what it is, and that it's not just a magic wand where, okay, you're unhoused and here's all the resources and all of this is afforded to you. It's not that easy. Thank you, Dr. Edmondson, for the recognition You do not get us cheap gifts. And you always do a handwritten card. And I want to thank my team because we are one. And I appreciate this team and I appreciate Eve. Thank you for all that you do. Our team in the back. And thank you, Jeff, for sticking with us through this hour and 6-minute meeting. We appreciate you. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're right here on Grant Street. So thank you. That's all that I have. We'll go to communications from board members. I'll start with Trustee Kamal. That was like, nope. Oh. Madam Secretary.
I just want to say thank you, Dr. E. It has been a pleasure to sit here on this board with you, first time and back. I love the direction you are taking this district in, and look forward to seeing everything transpire and how far we can go. I'll make my decision up later. But, and thanks to the staff for all the hard work. Thank you for the gift. We really appreciate it.
Trustee Jackson.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you also for the gift. And I'm going to actually use that bag
Okay.
when I
Spend the night.
travel for sports. But
With his wife.
But what I did, I like the presentation today. I just would like to dig a little deeper into that, see how we can get the teachers who would like to be involved, because again, I think teaching is something you do from actually a love for the community, and if you go be teaching in our community, we want to at least know that you got some type of love, if it's just reaching out to a parent. So I just want to see how we can make that a reality. That way we know, like, because again, this is, if we running with the theme, one us, one Romulus, the teachers got to be part of the one. They got to be the 0 and 1. You know what I mean? So however we can make that look, I'm willing to help, and just we got to get the teachers on board. But other than that, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Jackson. Trustee Piles.
Yeah, I thank Dr. Edmondson, but I privately, but I want to say publicly, thank you for the manner in which you've called snow days, and not just called snow days, but also put communication out that there will be school, and that those decisions have been made timely in the evening, so families have time to make preparations, whether there's no school or whether there is school, the courtesy of knowing that well in advance. I mean, even for our transportation people, it wasn't always the case, and it's not the case in other districts. And when we can't make all parents happy, sometimes, you know, they're upset that there's a snow day, they're upset that it's not a snow day, that we can't control. But the feedback I read on social media where the families are really upset and irate is when their superintendents aren't making decisions till the next morning. And then they're stuck, or they don't know what to do. And, you know, and then we've got our food people who come in early. We have our transportation people who come in early. So it doesn't just affect families, but it affects our Romulus family. So thank you for making the decisions and putting out communications in the evening so that families and our staff know, yes, there'll be school, no, there won't. It's not a call I envy you having to make. I wouldn't want to make it. But the manner in which you do has been very courteous, very helpful, so thank you. And thank you for the gifts, too.
Thank you, Trustee Piles. Vice President Davis. You sick? It must have been a Taco Bell. All right. Thank you so much. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the January 2020. What? I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Rewind. Dr. Edmondson, did you have anything else you wanted to say? Oh, okay. I did. No, I go first. Yeah. All right. Well, fast forward. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the January 28, 2026 closed session for the purpose of 8H, considering material exempt from disclosure.
Support.
Give it to Davis. It's been motioned by Laster, supported by Davis. Any discussion? All right. Roll call. Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Jackson. Piles.
Yes.
Kamal.
Yes.
Rogers is yes. We are in closed session at 7:09.